So good morning, sweet ones. It's Jo here. I thought I'd start to do a weekly reading for you. So I've shuffled the cards. I'm using the Rider-Waite cards today. And I've drawn 3 cards just to give us an overview of what the week is going to be like. So looking now at our first card. Well, it's the Judgment card. It's a thoughtful card, and actually one that can come up at the beginning of the year quite often. If we look at the picture there, we've got the messenger at the top bringing us news of what's to come. And there we are at the bottom, our human selves being open to the new, open to the news, allowing ourselves to be seen as we really are with our bare bottoms there. It can indicate the tendency, though, to jump to conclusions a little bit. Sometimes to make decisions too quickly or judgments about things or people. If that's you, if that's what your tendency is, then I would say this is a sign just to slow down a little bit. Give things more thought. Maybe sleeping on something if we've had to deal with an issue and thinking how we're going to deal with it the next day is the best thing to do at the moment. And it can point to giving a person maybe more chances, and maybe we have judged somebody too harshly or too quickly, and again, if that's something that's in your life, it might be a chance to have a look and see if you can reassess how you've dealt with a situation or a person around you. It can be a time of true spiritual awakening, though, because it really allows us to go within and have a look at our shadow and see how we do make decisions and how we do deal with things. And if that is from a place of fear or feeling as though we're going to be left behind, then sometimes those decisions need to be taken slower. If you're in a situation where others are making judgments of you or snap judgments about you or your behaviour, there is little you can do about it. You just got to accept and realise it's their problem, not yours, as long as you know you're doing what you can to be coming from a good energy. There is good news with work with this card. If you've been working really hard, then know that you've been watched and that hard work and effort will pay off. You might find that you get a bonus or you just get a good pat on the back or some recognition. If, on the other hand, you've been slacking off a little bit, getting back to work in the new year, it's time to get on with it. Brush yourself down and just crack on before any damage is done. So it is a good time to be really clear about what you want out of life. And then again, this is why I say it's a good one at the beginning of the year. You begin making steps towards how you want your life to be and making it happen. So a really nice card for the beginning of the year. Let's have a look at our second card now. And it's the Five of Swords. Some people kind of wince when they get this card. It's not always an easy card, but this card does point to some conflict in some way. You've fought some battles along the way, and it may be that those battles aren't quite finished. They're on the road to being finished for sure, but you're kind of clearing up after a bit of a battle, and it might not be yours, it might be other people's, and this can lead us to just having a few mixed feelings about life in general, really. It might be as well that there's a few people in particular that are giving you feelings you're not sure whether you want them in your life or whether they're to move into your future with you. I would say don't ignore those feelings. If they are strong, then you need to listen to that intuition, because it is a message about where you need to take yourself moving forward. It actually has a good sign to it. You can see the skies clearing in the card. You can see that you're picking up the pieces and actually coming away from these battles. You've won. And I would say that although, yeah, there is a few more bits to do before you're completely through it, you definitely can feel glad that you've done your best. You might find you get an urge to prove you're right to somebody. That is the other side of this card. And this could be a waste of time if, you can go to a lot of trouble to try to prove to people that you're right and that you're not what they think you are. But at the end of the day, people are going to think what they want to think. So my point is that point your energy towards the things that are going to make you happy. Don't sacrifice your happiness because you need to prove you're right. Pick your battles and just make your energy go towards the things that bring you true happiness, not the things that are out of pride or ego. Any power struggle is going to come from an ego side. So if you can move away from that and back towards those things that bring you happiness, then overall you've won anyway, whether or not the person sees your point of view and accepts that you're right and they're wrong. If you come away and you feel happy, then you've won on all counts. And that's what this card is saying. So our last card, focusing on this week, well, it's the Hanged Man. The Hanged Man, as you can see, he's hanging from his feet, not his neck. He's got lots of ideas and light around his head here. But this is time for reflection. So I would say, after all of this sorting out this week, the things you've had to deal with leading up to this point, you're now getting to a point of reflection and deep thinking and considering exactly who you are and who you want to be. It is time to let go of old situations, habits, feelings, thoughts, people, relationships, anything that you don't feel serving your highest good now. It is time to let that go, but for heaven's sake, don't rush into a decision. You need to really go from your gut here and take time to make sure that you're doing the right thing in the right way. When we let go of something, it doesn't have to be a big aggressive shunt out of our lives. We can gently let go of things and gently move away from things. And I have a feeling that I need to advise you to take that route at the moment, not one of drama. But what letting go of these negative things does is puts us in a better frame of mind. It leaves space for new positive things to come in, new positive people, new relationships. And although letting go can be a painful process at times, once we have let go, we are then freeing ourselves to experience the better side of life, the lighter side of life. And there is time now to have a bit more fun, to bring some humour in and maybe look at things in a lighter way. You know, life isn't meant to be serious all the time. And by resting, taking time out, really looking at things how they are and not how we want them to be, not how we fear them to be, being in the now, will allow us to reflect back and actually see the lessons from what we've been through and the positive things that we've learnt from our experiences. Because every experience is about learning, it's about creating, it's about manifesting what it is that we need. And this card is a powerful card for manifestation. So when you take that time out and that rest and that thinking time, that is when you can really start to create the future that you want for yourself. So it looks overall a challenging week, I would say, in parts, dealing with some situations that are going to challenge us and maybe cause us to have to face the difficult choices. But actually, ultimately, with the Hanged Man at the end, we will have that breather, we will have that time out, and we'll reflect back and know that we've made the right choices if we take time over them and we listen to our inner guidance. So on that note, I'm going to wish you blessings for a wonderful week. Don't forget to call in your angels and your guides if you do have challenging times, and ask them to surround you with their glorious light and energy to protect you and help you make those good decisions and choices. And I look forward to doing another reading for you next week. Take care. Lots of love.